Joining us now is political science Dr. Wassim Younis from El-Qassami College. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Younis. Let's start with the publication of Charlie Hebdo. Arab political figures are appealing to Prime Minister Netanyahu to prevent the publication. Foreign Minister Avigdor Lieberman is calling on his party faithful to give it out free. You're a modern academic. It's a drawing, it's a satire. Would you object to having the magazine distributed here in Israel?
Well, listen, if we are talking about the satire, if we are talking about also the freedom of speech, then it's okay. But when it comes to insulting people, insulting Muslims all over the world, insulting almost quarter of the population on earth, then why there is a need to do so? By the time that there are Muslims who say that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, it is a kind of symbol. It is a prophet that God simply sent to Islam, exactly as Moses and Jesus, the prophets that sent to Judaism and Christianity.
But there's certainly satirical publications, but Moses and Jesus and the rest of them as well.
No, it's okay, but if Islam tells you, Muslims actually tells you, that there is something of a great sensitivity when it comes to Prophet Muhammad in terms of drawing portraits and so on, then why not actually to simply respect the Muslims' demand not to portray Prophet Muhammad this way, and this actually will not make constraints on the freedom of speech at all.
Doctor, the magazine has appeared in limited quantity. Do you think it should be banned entirely?
I think that the issue here that we shouldn't account for is actually the principle. If the principle is actually accounting for the other's feeling and to respect others in terms of if I feel that this is something that might indeed insult me and insult my feeling, and very many Muslims will demonstrate all over the world in order to protest for this, then why there is a need actually to do so? By the time that we live in a certain era in which all the time we are talking about Islamophobia, by the time that, you know, Islam, exactly like Judaism, exactly like Christianity, it is a religion that was given to the Prophet by God. It is the same God. Then if somebody has got problems with God, that has nothing to do with the Muslims. I would like also to add something of a great significance. When we talk about Islamophobia, we are talking about the religion. And we better talk, if at all, about Muslimophobia, fearing Muslims who simply misinterpret the right teachings and pillars of Islam in a negative way in order to promote their own political agenda. This is the point that should be indeed raised and addressed in this fashion.
Dr. Yunus, turning to politics, Foreign Minister Lieberman wants the court to ban the Arab list from the Knesset election because they support terrorist organizations. Is there concern that this could happen?
First of all, I don't know. But in terms of having this joint ticket, first of all, you know, by definition, when people talk about unity, it is something which is completely blessed, I think, by the way the vast majority of the Arab citizens in Israel see it. But unfortunately, it could be the case that in a way, the Palestinian narrative might be in a way alienated, and we feel that it is a little bit far from being far of reach, because of the fact that, you know, today we don't have one joint ticket which is completely an Arab ticket. It is an Arab-Jewish ticket, and Dov Hanin, by the way, is an excellent Knesset member who believes in egalitarianism and equality and you know, these the whole issues which are very important. Yes.
But Hadash is a communist party. How can they work together with such a party?
This is the question. It is a kind of a bus that will take very many Knesset members to the Knesset by the time that the agenda is not that clear. But I think that once they are found in the Knesset, it could be the case, and there are very important political analysts who might think that one day after they go to the Knesset, simply this unity will come to its end. But still, having many Arab Knesset members inside the Knesset might indeed show that there is a kind of at least declared democracy in the state of Israel, and therefore Arabs can indeed vote and be function as a pressurizing element in order. But also I think that this has negative effects in terms of, you know, the left, the right wing bloc might indeed begin to gather momentum and begin to become greater and greater as a result of the unity of Arabs.
We're short of time. One last quick question. Give us an estimate. How many seats?
You know, I'm
not going to hold you to it. Just an estimate.
I'm indeed, you know, I'm pessimistic, but I'm pessimistic because I am a realistic, optimistic, and therefore maximum, I think, 11 to 12 seats. Hopefully more, but this is the situation.
Dr. Wassim Younis, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you for having me.